Hello, and welcome to How to Write Romance by me, Queen Co. I am a moderator in the Writer's Block Discord server, and I have been a writer for about 16 years now, believe it or not. And I have experience in writing romance among other genres, so let's dive into this, shall we? A little introduction to begin with. I'm going to tell you about the building blocks of romance, how to write romantic chemistry, and how to write a romance genre structure. Now, there is a difference between genre romance and romantic subplots. Genre romance must have a happy ending, and this is non negotiable, okay? I know what you're gonna say, like, oh my god, what about Romeo and Juliet? That's a romance that ends in death, right? But no, first off, Romeo and Juliet is a tragedy because it's a play, and plays only have two genres, tragedy and comedy, technically. There's a lot of complicated stuff in there, but that's what I remember from theater school. And different mediums have different standards for their genres. And in books, it is agreed upon that genre romance must have a happy ending. If you do try to be reinvent the wheel by writing a romance with a sad ending, all you will get is bad reviews and angry readers. So tread as you want. Now, romantic subplots do not have to have a happy ending because they are not genre romance. And genre romance focus is on the romance. The story is the romance. But romantic subplot is just a smaller piece of a bigger story. Now, that romantic subplot can be like half of the story, but as long as it's not the main focus of the story, then it's a romantic subplot and not a genre romance book. But there's some mixes in there, like romantasy, which is a mix between fantasy and romance, where generally, or what you would assume, they are equals, but there's some discourse in there that I'm not going to go through now. Now let's go through the building blocks of romance. Why are they together? And this isn't just relationship based, but physically. Why are they in the same room together? What is keeping them together? And there it is. Why do they stay together? Why don't they just leave? Or why don't they just break up? Why do they stay together? And what do they like about each other? Because, believe it or not, you have to like the person you're in love with in some shape or form. So, what do they like about each other? What internal conflict keeps them apart? Because there has to be something, so they're not kissing on the first page or whatnot. There has to be some kind of conflict that is keeping them apart, and I recommend having both an internal and an external conflict. Something inside the character. Usually, what I've seen, it's something about what they believe in love or what they believe about the other character. Like, I'm not worthy to be loved, or the other character is not worthy to be loved because he's an asshole or whatever. Those kind of things. The external conflict can be something like, oh, our families are feuding and they're angry at each other, or oh, no, I have a boyfriend already, or something like that. And then what changes? What changes in the external and the internal conflict that makes them together? What changes in the story that makes them not stay together, and what changes in the story that makes them go from, no, I don't want to be with you, to, oh my god, I love you so much, just kiss me. Okay? And let's talk about chemistry. Now, what are their differences? Because they have to have some differences. Reading a romance between clones is not appealing. Maybe you'll figure it out, who knows? But what are their differences? And this can be personality, job, whatever. They have to have some differences. As they say, opposites attract. But oh no, what are their similarities? Because they have to have something in common as well. But this can be values, right? Like, oh, I believe that robots have feelings. Oh, I believe that too. Let's get together. Extreme example, but you get what I mean, right? And you have to have this sort of push and pull dynamic. One character does something romantic and they pull apart, and the other character comes crashing back because of this thing they did. I hope that makes sense. And you have to have small moments and big moments. Small moments are things like accidental touches or like glances across the room and small gestures of kindness, while the bigger moments are like the proposal scene or the I love you and the big kiss and those kind of things. Maybe character A saves character B from a really bad boyfriend or something. I don't know. And it's not a relationship without friendship. If you were to take out all the romance, would they be friends? I think that's really important. And I mean that after they have overcome what is keeping them apart. If you were to take out every bit of romance, would they be friends? And let them be each other's strength and weakness. Because who isn't our strength and weakness, really, besides those we love? Now, let's go through a very basic structure of romance. You have the meet cute, which in other structures are usually called the inciting incident. You have the midpoint crisis, which is the midpoint where your main character or characters goes from reaction to action, generally. And you have the night, or the dark night of the soul, or the shit, everything is fucked moment, where things are really, really bad. And I'm going to walk you through a little beat sheet of mine. First, we have the setup. You have the introduction, where the characters, where you introduce your main character. What do they believe in? What are their values, their relationships to other characters? Then you have the meet cute / meet disaster, because not every meet cute happens in a romantic way. Maybe they get off on the wrong foot. Who knows? You have the nope, where you prove to the reader why they aren't together at this moment. You have the stuck together, because you have to have the characters interact with each other to have them fall in love. And these do not have to happen at the same time for each partner. Your character A can be at the nope, while character B is deep in the falling in love sections, which will come soon. Now we have the falling in love section, or the fun and games section, where you have the nope again / negotiation, where the characters are again being like, oh no, I can't be with that person because they drink out of a gold cup, but my family drinks out of a silver cup, or what have you. You have the love bubble, where things are beginning to get better. They're starting to see that maybe the nope isn't as bad as they thought. You have the nearly in love, where some gesture is making them think like, oh my god, I could actually be with this person. And then you have the in love, and it's happily ever after. Or is it? Because you have the retreating love section, where you have the love hangover / negotiation, where your character is like, oh shit, something bad happened. I can't be with this person. Maybe our family is moving and I can't let my partner go through a long distance relationship. You have the tightrope, where they're trying to make it work, but things keep going badly. You have the pre-breakup, and then you have the breakup. Now, with breakup, I don't actually mean a breakup. I just mean something bad happens. Usually that's a breakup, but it doesn't have to be a breakup. It can just be like, oh my god, my mother is dead and I can't focus on romance right now. Or and then you have the fighting for love section. Woo! do. You have the low moment where, because of the breakup, the character is like, oh no, I'm so sad, what should I do? And then they wake up from that moment and are like, oh my god, I have to fight for my love. And then they do a grand gesture. Maybe they propose. And then you have a yes plus yes equals happily ever after, because it's not genre romance without the happily ever after. Say it with me, kids, okay? And here are some common romance tropes. For dynamics, you have enemies to lovers, where the characters are on opposite sides of each other. But it doesn't have to be like literal enemies. I'm using this as an umbrella term for rivals to lovers or any of the other subgenres, subtropes within this trope. It just means the character are at conflict before they become lovers. You have friends to lovers, where it's literally the opposite. They don't have any conflict. They're friends, but here it's even more important to be like, oh, why aren't they together yet? You have the best friend's brother, which is exactly as it sounds. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these are gendered, but they don't have to be. You have the fake relationship, where character A and character B are in a fake relationship for one reason or another, and through pretending to become lovers, they are actually starting to fall in love. Yeah, and you have roommates, which is exactly as it sounds. Character A and character B are roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. Okay, let's go. And you have situation tropes, like forbidden romance, my personal favorite. For me, it provides a really good way of having external conflict that doesn't necessarily produce a toxic couple. Of course, it's not exempt from this. There's a lot of toxic forbidden romance out there, I'm sure, but I feel like it's a lot easier to get away with not having a toxic couple with a forbidden romance. And it's just sweet. Like, oh my god, we can't be together because your family drinks from silver cups and mine drinks from gold, but I want to be with you despite that. It's sweet. And then you have that there's only one bed trope, where character A and character B has ridden on horseback for days on end, and they finally find an inn. But oh no, there's only one bed. What should we do? Maybe cuddle? Who knows? And then you have the she fell first, he fell harder trope, which is again another favorite of mine. Character A falls first, but character B falls harder. And you get to see that in the actions. It's not a lot of these are very explicit, but I think this one is a lot more subtle than the others. And then you have the touch her and you'll die trope, which doesn't work if you're having a contemporary romance. I can't imagine an accountant saying that to like his rival without cringing. Like, touch her and you die. Dude, you do math for a living. Sit down. But it works if you have like a Fey prince fighting for his true mate or what have you. And then you have the revenge trope, where character A is trying to get revenge on character B. But oh no, through getting revenge, character A is starting to fall. What should they do? How will they go through with their revenge? Thank you, and I'll see you later. If you liked the video, please drop a like and head down to the comments. And if you want to join our little Discord server, please just comment.